All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Bill Bregen, Executive Artistic Director of the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. I'm so happy to welcome you to the 9th season of Rooftop Rhythms as part of the Arts Center's 6th season. First, let's thank DJ Alad for warming up the crowd. Show some emojis in the chat. Let us know you love them. I want to thank the Arts Center's lead sponsor, the telephone company Swipe, our sustaining sponsor GAC, as well as our media partners, the National, Al Ittihad, Abu Dhabi World, Yalla Magazines, and Time Out Abu Dhabi. I also want to thank the leadership of NYUAD, Vice Chancellor Marriott Westerman, and our new provost, Arlie Petters, and especially all the team at the Arts Center who worked so hard to bring these performances to you. Tonight is the first time we're trying to have some of the audience on screen with us, so thanks to everyone who's joining us in the virtual venue. Before we go on, just a few notes about upcoming programs. They're all created to be experienced through physical distancing, so no matter where you're watching from, you can be a part of our season. We have only a handful of tickets left for our one-on-one theater piece as far as isolation goes by Tanya Al-Houri and Basil Zara, which runs through next weekend. Tanya will also give a talk with the NYUAD Institute this Tuesday, September 29th. We'll then kick off another very special piece, 1,000 Ways by 600 Highwaymen. It's a performance which takes place by telephone for only two participants at a time. We also want to invite you to our second online robot house party with the amazing turntablist Kid Koala on Saturday, October 10th. This is great fun for all ages. Many of our artists give career talks and workshops as part of our Off the Stage series. To find out more about any of our programs, follow at NYUAD Arts Center in social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and nyuad-artcenter.org on the web. And you can see many past events on our YouTube channel. While you're there, please let us know where you're watching from, and if you want to show some love all night long, use your emojis to snap approval or to applaud the artists. When I first moved to the UAE 6 years ago, everyone said, you need to go to Rooftop Rhythms and you need to meet Dorian Rogers, who makes things happen on the independent art scene here. I did, and I was blown away. A short time later, the event was between venues and Dorian came to us asking to give Rooftop a home. It's become a huge part of our community ever since. Dorian has really nurtured the artistic scene, and artists who got their start here have gone on to win some important awards and perform on some of the most prestigious stages in the UAE. But more importantly, Rooftop Rhythms has become a vital engine of creative self-expression, continuing to expand the scope of conversations in the UAE. And we thank Rooftop Rhythms sponsor, the US Embassy in Abu Dhabi, for supporting this platform for the diverse voices of our community. I always tell people, if you really want to understand what it means to live in the UAE and what's on people's minds here, come to Rooftop Rhythms. And through the magic of the internet, we're thrilled to be able to share the artists from our community with the rest of the world. So now, welcome to the 9th season of Rooftop Rhythms, and welcome to the stage, your host and founder, Dorian Paul Rogers.
Woo! Woo! Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Dorian Paul Rogers, and can you believe it? This is Rooftop Rhythms number 75, our 75th show. And we're just so overwhelmed by the calls and congratulatory messages from original performers who started with us in 2012. And just everyone saying, you know, we kind of expected to go on from month to month, but it is an emotional thing that we have made it in spite of all the difficulties going on around the world. We've made it to season 9, uninterrupted, thanks largely in part to the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi's production team, as well as their directorship led by Bill Bregen. And so that means a lot, Bill, you know how much I think of you and the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. So for you to say that, those positive things about Rooftop Rhythms, as we started as a small community open mic, and it just means so much that we have impact in the culture and art scene here. And so as we always do about this time, everybody, if you feel blessed to be alive, some people didn't wake up this morning. So if you feel blessed to be alive on September 25th, 2020. Yes, we're still in 2020. It is still 2020. If you feel blessed to be alive, make some noise wherever you are at home. I want you to wake the neighbors on the count of 3. Make some noise. 1, 2, 3. I hear you. I hear you. I feel you. Thank you, DJ Alad, for that great set. If you didn't see a DJ a lot set, that's because Facebook's changing some music rules. And so we had our virtual audience in the Zoom room listening to DJ a lot, but we'll let you know how you can join our VIP virtual audience room to give us more crowd interaction for the next show. But we're still feeling you out there in virtual land. We want you to leave emojis, comments anytime you hear any feedback, any poetry performances. So we want you to give feedback on Facebook or YouTube, and we're gonna shout you out, okay? I know you came here for poetry. Shouts out to Muhammad Omer in the room, Ray Mello, so many people, Tawanda. Those people will be spotlighting in a little while, showing you our virtual crowd. But for now, you came here for poetry, and let's go ahead and get started for our season 9 debut. Who to start with but the UAE's first Emirati Grand Slam champion. He has taken a little hiatus because he's a busy fellow, but he is a big part of what we do, and we're glad to have him back. Everybody show some love right now for Salam. Atas, 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 Atas.
Hey guys, thank you so much. It's good to be back. You know, I was going through a lot of transitions in my life, and I'm so happy to be back. It's amazing to see so many new artists joining the scene. And so the piece I wanted to do today was about how I started writing poetry. I started writing poetry when I was 9 years old. I wrote what I thought poetry is supposed to sound like. Sad white people in despair. Like I didn't have a family who cares. Because I didn't know what it would mean to me. It reveals to me on late nights and not long enough showers that I am not okay. Or I am. Poetry sends mixed signals. I started writing poetry in the 8th grade. I liked a girl, which is super confusing because girls are confusing because what am I doing? Because she likes Khalid. And Khalid is good at football. And I had asthma. So it's hard to catch a breath you never had. I could never catch a break because at break time I was writing and fighting because it's easy to pick on the angry kid with glasses. I started writing poetry when I was 17 years old. I didn't tell my friends I wanted to perform. They came with their secret poems anyway. We spoke of love and anger and what it means to fall in love with an idea. How your secrets claw out of your sleeve to the notepad or the note app on your iPhone. I used to sneak away from home to perform because showing them who you are can be deadly. They can use it against you, using violent words that impress you like, wow, you went that low. Slitting my ankles so that I couldn't walk, but I had already learned to fly. I started writing poetry today. It's hard to tell where a poem is taking you. Do I want to write you or is the crowd making you? I paid for you. The price for poetry is painful pondering, penetrating skin deep. So not enough to kill me, just so you can feel me because poetry is a spiral. And I don't know which way I'm headed. All I know is that I'll probably start writing tomorrow. Thank you. My name is Sandina Robbins.
Everybody, that was Salam Atas. Thank you so much. And we always love your just vulnerability as a man to talk about, you know, things that speak out against toxic masculinity and the beauty of real manhood. So thank you for just sharing more about your life, brother. We love you and we're glad to have you back. And we're getting snaps in the chat room. So thank you, Salam. And we're going to keep it going, everybody. We're so impressed with the students at NYU Abu Dhabi. They're so talented, and those are songwriters, poets, musicians, singers. And we have another one who's about to make her way to our virtual stage. She has really come on strong in the past season, and I'm excited for you to see her in our 9th season. Everybody show some love right now to Suzanne Sadiq.
Thank you so much, Dorian. I'm really excited to be here. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. I collaborated with an artist, a poet, and he's always inspired me because he is one of the most active Rooftop Rhythms member. I see him at like every event that I go to. So I wrote a song on his behalf, and I'm going to read the poem that he wrote first. That I based my song on. So here it goes. Making friends understand me, get to know me, but I haven't got a voice, you say. Look scared, but why? Students say hello to me, but I just smile like a kid. Maybe eyes are wondering why. What's wrong with him? Suffering, but I don't show. Used to let things flow like an alien river. Rain under my eyes, tears of frustration clouded my mind. But then I fight off my inner uni shadow, shadows turning to light. All that I needed to find myself, feel like the old me, found peace again. And that's, the poet is Razio, shout out to him. And here's my song. I haven't got a voice, you say, but you won't try to get past the high or low. I'm here crying, tired of letting things go. I'm sorry if I'm unconventional, but you mirror me and putting on this show. I see the fear in your eyes, judgment cloud your mind. You force a smile, but I can't tell. You look happy with yourself. You look happy with yourself. No, no, I won't change who I am to fit your expectation. No, not anymore. Go on with your idea of me. I hope you find what you're looking for. I know that I'm an unconventional, but you mirror me and putting on this show. I see the fear in your eyes, judgment cloud your mind. You force a smile, but I can't tell. I hope you're happy with yourself. I hope you're happy with yourself. I hope you're happy. I'm proud of being an unconventional. Wait for my applause at the end of this show. I know it's my fight. I am my own light. I don't need you. I hope you can tell. I am happy with myself. I am happy with myself. Thank you so much. My name is Suzanne, and that was Bumpy Ride in collaboration with Razio. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Suzanne. And we are happy with you and your beautiful musicianship. And shouts out to Razio. I know Razio's watching. He's always supporting. And Razio, I'm very happy with that rendition. She took your poetry and made a beautiful song. Text me when you get the chance. Let us know what you thought about it. Suzanne, I'm slightly jealous. Nobody's ever turned my poetry into a song. All right. I want to do a poem. Can I do a poem? All right. Next up is Nabiha. But before Nabiha, I would like to do a poem. Is that okay? All right. Here I go. This poem is called Ode to Yard Sales. Ode to Yard Sales. I don't think you can make this into a song, but anyway, here we go. No matter how high tech this world gets, Menopausal moms will always pull out the permanent markers and duct tape this way on neighborhood street signs on Saturday mornings from 9 a.m. until everything is gone o'clock. Follow the pointed arrows straight to the driveways of the soon to be decluttered. eBay be darned, come and see plastic, rubber, and plush in the flesh. Beanie Babies will always be deodorized and strewn on foldable tables, still staying with their kids' decades-old slobber, which never seem to wash out. A few will still have their original packaging and ear tags, vacuum sealed, and wait for that inevitable day that they will become valuable again. For now, get 5 for $20. This Claude the Crab one is a limited edition. I'm trying to tell you, the good old yard sale, where the thin line between hoarding and keeping items strategically until they become relevant again is right under the surface of the Andersons' perfectly manicured lawn. Naughty kids switch sticker prices by commands of their naughtier parents, who swear up and down that that Sega Genesis set will be sold to them for $1, or they're calling the police for false advertisement. The yard sale, where crap on sale for $5 feels like a small fleck of gold when it's sold for 50 cents. Baseball cards with corners that hint of being fastened to bicycle spokes to turn them into motorcycles. An original Picasso can be hidden behind the cheap print in faux wood frame. Just must buy it. You gotta buy it for $3 to know for sure. Let's make a deal. That was Ode to Yard Sales by me. Can you make a song about that, Suzanne? Maybe not. So we'll bring up the next poet. She's another powerful figure on our scene, a local named Nabiha. Everyone show some love.
Hi, it's so good to be here for this season. I just want to say that recently I got into a conversation with a bunch of artists from different fields, and we were sharing our frustrations about what an artist truly means. And I think that artists to this day, generally speaking, aren't being given their worth, their value. People don't acknowledge the mental challenges, physical challenges, and everything that goes on behind the scenes. You know, the output looks so easy, but what's a better way to start off this season by performing an ode to artists? I thought back to that day in 2016. 4 people impacted my life. They don't know that. I've never told them this, but it was Dorian, Anis, Jesus, and Salim and Atlas whom I heard repeat, "What do you see?" I saw the line between the art and the artist slowly diffusing, the line between dreams and reality, soothing an agitated heart, divinity grooving down an artist's tongue into ladders for me to start climbing. I was hanging onto each of their stanzas that flew me to a world so safe. My past world became a wraith ever since the day those 4 people gave birth to new artists like me. Because ever since that day, 4 years ago, I never thought I would say, "A world without art is not a world I ever want to live in." I remember the exact time when my eyes unraveled true beauty of language. It was 10 p.m. I was on my way home, convincing myself I will be on stage the next time a mic opens. It's vacuumed to me, and there I was, writing my first poem that I performed called Anxiety, the only language I knew before artists like you introduced me to new meaning, something I am keen to still try to find through the beauty of art that's belittled in society's eye. They told us we cannot make a living by being artists, so tell me how those 4 artists taught me how to live, pumped life into my soul by putting their soul out there for people to feel whole, to feel alive, to learn how to live. Art is life. Artists are the heroes of your dark days, the scarred ones bleeding waves of words into oceans with their eyes shut. Artists crawl into your wounds with needles trying to stitch your ruins, which is why I say, a world without art is a world I cannot live in. So don't tell me art is just a side hobby, a side thing, because that thing is called fearless. That thing is called universal. That thing is the change you are too afraid to want to see. Artists are translators you never knew you needed, translating experiences running down their sleeves across space and time, the beating heart of what you call culture. It's the love you've convinced yourself you'd never meet. It's the truth you've convinced yourself you'd never believe. So I repeat, a world without art is a world you would never want to be in. Now, as a poet once said, imagine that if art did not exist because the artist didn't get the money to make it, would you still be inspired? Would you still want to live? What would culture be? What would you be if not for art and the artists? Thank you. My name is Nabiha Nahyan. This is an ode to artists.
Everybody snap it up. I see the virtual back room, Bill, Suzanne, so many people snapping, and that's what it's all about, us encouraging each other. Nabiha, how you've grown. You were talented when you first started with us around 17, 18 years old, maybe even 16. And just to see your growth as a young woman is just amazing. And I see you trying to sing too. Okay, I see you. We got a little songwriting in you as well. And that was kind of cool. We love how the poetry comes together. We don't share our poetry in advance, so it's just kind of sometimes cool synergy. So I did ode to yard sales, and then she did an ode. Did you see how that came together? That's really cool. All right, we're gonna keep it going, everybody. Next, on the mic, we have some more female power, and we love the female energy. So we're gonna bring it to Canada right now. She's based in the UAE. She and her daughter are powerful poets and MCs. Show some love right now, everybody. Snap it up at home, wherever you are. Snap it up for Miss Naima.
Hello, mic check, 1, 2. Can you
Hello?
hear me?
Yes.
All right. All right. See, someone came running up on me. I heard the thumping footsteps behind me hurriedly. I tense, duck, and get ready to buck, 2 arms from a friend then embrace me. Then reality hits where I am in my life. Like some kind of, sorry, I just missed it. Let me start again. See, someone came running up on me. I heard the thumping footsteps behind me hurriedly. I tense, duck, and get ready to buck, 2 arms from a friend then embrace me. Then reality hits where I am in my life, far away from all the trouble and strife. No need to be packing that butterfly knife, but being without one feels like tribe without fife, like some kind of dramatics is missing or incomplete. Without some kind of traumatic shields now obsolete. I get triggered, and that's the reality. I get triggered, but regretting would be blasphemy. But sometimes I just can't help it. And it's something I just had to live with. Addictions. There are wars within that are the hardest. The jihad I fought inside, yo, I came the farthest. From the times in my life that were the dark of the darkest, compartmentalize the trauma, then just front like I'm heartless. Regardless, I'm here. Half a world away from them triggers, that unforgiving world of open sex, drugs, and liquor, where man them chat lyrics to be your friend, go figure, where there ain't no such things as halfway crooks. You gotta be all in or one's gut get shook, where mean mugging thugging could result in a pulled trigger, where you hustle for crisp gear, fresh kicks, only to jump fences, getting rolled and mad licks. So like the chef, you gotta roll with that sick click, ready to combat like boot camp click, cause heads ain't ready when you bring the pain like meth. And reminders of the Akira always come with death, that every day's blessings are overlooked like the breath we take. So I distance myself for his sake, protect my neck like the woo, because I know that it's true, leaving the West life cold-hearted like exile in blue, cause I get triggered, and that's the reality. I get triggered, but regretting would be blasphemy. Familiar sounds, scents, sights, and touch can set me off like, yo, you don't know how much. Fight or flight, flight and fight, I don't know life without it. Right or wrong or right, surviving life, I doubt it. I see my homies pour desecrations to honor transitions into the next life. Expiration of respiration like Black Star, we push to shine bright like Talib. We all students dodging thieves in the night. Most definitely, Yasin, seeking knowledge, a profound birthright. A journey to heal, to stand, bow, and prostrate, praying for peace and tranquility in this bad mind state, to submit wholeheartedly in faith, just to feel safe. So I raise my hands to the sky in remembrance to the Most High, whose power and might cannot compare or quantify. You see, like Ruby Ibarra, I was that seed in the dark they never thought would bloom. And though I fight to phase it out, it returns unexpectedly too soon. But I will not allow it to consume my work, because even in peaceful places, shayateen still lurk. I will stand in my resilience no matter what they say, because to survive what I have, they will never know the price I had to pay. They think they know where you came from, but I ain't losing myself again just to keep some. So when I say, nah, man, and y'all think it's silly, I say, alhamdulillah, and break it down like Lily. And it fuels my addictions, hanging out in this whirlwind. And if you cool my ambitions, I'm gonna cut you out. That's why I can't hang with the cool gang. Everyone's a trigger, bang, 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 bang. Goodbye, bad bones. I've got bigger plans. Gonna put myself in his hands. Thank you. I'm Naima. That was triggered. Peace.
Wow. Naima always has those vibes, right, Salam? I see Salam over here just like, and then just, you know, just speaking the Islam deepness and thoughts as well. Thank you, Naima, always representing Canada. Thank you for that. And on that note, before we bring up the next artist, as poets, it's our innate calling to speak our individual truths as well as those of our communities and the world at large. Our responsibility as artists is not only to speak loudly and clearly, but also to listen and understand issues which pervade the past and present. By using our voices and ears, we hope to be on the side of humanity which strives for a future that offers equity, equality, and justice for each and every person. As UAE-based artists, we are proud that this country and its leaders uphold an environment of tolerance and inclusion in which residents and citizens alike share a collective sense of safety and security. Currently, America is reeling from yet another Black life lost due to police brutality of an unarmed person. We mourn the loss of Breonna Taylor and so many others and stand in solidarity with any persecuted people suffering across the world. Black Lives Matter. And our next artist to the stage is a UAE local and a great young man who always brings the energy. And so we're excited to see Not So Human and his collaborator tonight as they perform an original song for you. Not So Human, let's do it.
Hello everybody, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. I got another new original song for you guys that me and my brother here, Preston, wrote. It's called Love It Up. The reason why I wrote this song is because I was like always asking people about like love, and everybody got the wrong idea of love. Everybody kind of like regrets it at some point. They're always telling me like, oh, love is just gonna make me feel mad, sad, or bad. And I'm here to write the song to tell you guys you gotta keep loving it up. That's why I wrote the song. It's called Love It Up. And here goes. One, two, three, four. People say that love is easy, and people say that love is breezy. It's an old cold story that they always told, and every time they mention it, it gets old. But I would love it up, I will never give it up, no, no. And I would love it up, I will never give it up, no. Oh, it's a feeling so free, it's a feeling you need. So tell me now, love it up, you will never give it up, no. Oh. La 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 la. And people say that love is crazy, and people say that love is lazy. It's an old cold story that they've always told, and every time they mention it, it gets old. But I will love it up, I will never give it up, no. Oh. And I will love it up, I will never give it up, sing now. Love, love, love it up, you will never give it up, no. So love, love, love it up, you will never give it up, no. So love, love, love it up, you will never give it up, no. So love, love, love it up, you will never give it up, no. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was awesome.
Woo!
Thanks for having me. You guys are great. Have a good night. I'm gonna stay here and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Not So Human. You wrote that, right? You wrote that?
Yeah. I wrote that. It's amazing.
For real?
Song.
Did you write that for real? Or did you pay somebody to write that and then they gave you credit? No, but like, you know, if you pay somebody, it's still yours. So like, is it like you wrote it?
No writing. He can't vouch for me.
And were you playing the guitar? Was that you guys were really playing those instruments, or you were syncing?
Yeah, my friend, he created the melody, he created the idea. He kind of followed up with my idea, and the guitar was me, and the singing was me. So,
everybody, show them some love one more time. That's Not So Human and the crew. And they're spreading, ironically, the humanity. So thank you for that, everybody. That was beautiful. Support our local scene. A few years ago, this is our 6th season at the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi, but Bill Bregen really was pushing, you know, let's get people to do their original work, and let's not just treat it like another open mic where it's cover music. There's enough of those events. And so I'm really glad that we took that leap, and it was harder for some artists. Not So Human did more cover work in the beginning, but look at how beautiful his songwriting is. And we have a locally based Bruno Mars, man. We believe in you, and we want you to keep believing in your talent and performing, because you have incredible talent. And I believe that's Lily in our backstage group. She commented in the notes section that, in the chat section, she said she really needed that, and that lifted her day. And I think that's the beauty of original content. And so congratulations, and just keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep it going, everybody. We have an NYU Abu Dhabi student, our third one of the day. I told you there's a lot of talent at NYU Abu Dhabi, and she goes by the name of Miss Smriti, excuse me for the pronunciation, Smriti Nair. Yep. Everybody show her some love.
Hello. I'm gonna do a poem about a news that I received. There's no other way of saying it, so I'm just gonna say it. My father fell off of a horse on a hill that we moved to less than a year ago, inhabited by, and this is a rough number, 10 humans in the summertime, several bisons and 24 horses, and my father fell off of one. I'm 22 years old, and I'm my parents' second child that they had much later into their marriage. I'm also in my last year of college, and I complain very loudly about my knees and my back. This is all by way of saying my father is old, and I try my best not to think about it, but when one's father falls off of a horse, one tends to think about it. He's fine, my father. What is more ridiculous to me is that he still rides. Just yesterday, he cheerfully informed me that he went on another trip with his favorite horse, the very same horse he fell off of not less than 2 weeks ago. They had a great time, I hear. The men in my family have been careless with the care that they think they're entitled to. My grandmother pleaded with my grandfather to slow down as he recklessly ran errands to the post office several times a day in the wake of his diagnosis of Parkinson's and cancer. What does my grandmother know about commitment? He used to say. My aunt was in the habit of waiting anxiously for my uncle's calls after he had gotten into a car accident in a country she's never going to visit. He called just 2 times that week. My brother-in-law has a particular liking to taking his stress out with badminton rackets and badminton courts, and occasionally hitting himself on the head with said racket. Accidentally, of course. My sister now keeps the Panadol right next to his water bottle, just in case. I have another cousin whose husband invested in a pyramid scheme, and another one who insists on returning home only at 10 p.m. And then there's my father with his horse riding. The women in my family have a lot of patience, and with it, they understand heartbreak as just a matter of time and stupid, careless, periodic decisions. The women in my family are not allowed to be careless. 2 broken limbs cannot mend each other, and they've never been good at taking turns, so we wait. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I have no great insight into life. I cannot make a meaningful metaphor out of the horse that my father fell off of. I'm a 22-year-old who complains about her knees and her back. This is, in fact, a PSA. If you have a wife and or a daughter and or a sister and or an aunt and or a friend and or any human or bison in your life, just please don't ride horses. My name is Smithy, and that was my father fell off a horse. Thank you.
That's like so on the surface for me, but like also so deep, like seems like it has like 20 meanings, or is it just as simple as my father fell off a horse? She's not gonna tell us. She's mum over there. She's just like, okay, all right, I'm gonna think about that one a little more. Thank you, Smriti, for that. And that's called prose style poetry. So she kind of used it to tell a narrative. And so we want your feedback, everybody. If you're watching us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, we want you to share the link with your friends. And also give us a little emoji thumbs up, anything you liked about it. And I'll share some of the commentary we're getting on our back end with the VIP room. If you want to be in the VIP audience room, our next show is October 25th. So you can send a quick email to info@rooftoprhythms.org, and I'll forward it to the production team at the Arts Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. Again, that's info@rooftoprhythms.org if you would like to be in the VIP back room on the next show on October 25th. For now, let's go ahead and just keep it going. We have my friend Hakeem Komet. Hakeem, are you here?
Oh, I most certainly am.
How are you? How are you? Are you in America? Are you in Oman? We're wondering about you right now.
I am stuck in Oman, inshallah. The airport's supposed to be open October 1st, and I'll be able to fly back home then.
Well, we miss you in Abu Dhabi, and we're glad to see you here today. So do your thing, okay?
I miss y'all, man. Like, you know, quarantine's been rough on everybody. I'm a super extrovert, so it's been super rough on me as well. I want to just have a moment of silence in honor of, you know, the people in America and worldwide who have lost their lives and their livelihood to injustice wherever it occurs. Black lives not only matter, they are valuable. They are worthy. And this, you know, this piece hits really close to home for me. My best friend's great-grandfather was murdered by the KKK. His great-grandmother had to remarry for financial viability, carried 14 kids to satisfy another man's virility, and it was near impossible for her not to pass the pain and the loss down. That murder changed history, geography, a family's spiritual etymology. The repercussions are generational, affecting how he lives right now. Ripples of violence reverberating through a family's waters, streams of tears trucking through widened lanes of history's visage, join tributaries of blood spilt in conflict and hard work and fights over one's right to exist as an individual. And it all empties out into the vast ocean of a people's shared experiences, ebbs and flows of highs and lows, hearts exposed and trampled toes, hand-me-down jokes and deadly chokes, touchdown throws and the harrowing woes of systemized destruction. We are America. It's crazy how even now, amidst international lockdown, the question remains not if to kill a Black person, but how. The cameras on George Floyd's killers didn't even slow them down. Throughout the history of the United States, through thick and thin, and wars abroad and within, causes of valiance and of sin, the one constant upon which you can depend is a deep-seated hatred of a people based on little more than color of skin. You can't have racist bones. But the spirit, oh, that spirit is a part of your DNA. Your spirit whispers to you, this natural order is the only way. We taught what to think and how to act before we learn what to say. Centuries of practice have made the hierarchy of master and slave as ingrained to us as cats killing mice or horses eating hay. My boy said this, and I agree. I'm not scared if another Black citizen pulls a gun on me. There's something I have that he wants. It might be respect, attention, or just some money, but there's almost always another way to erase the conflict and escape. Just try getting away with white supremacy in your face. Your life may be the only thing desired that day. When social distancing isn't enough of a mandate to stay knees on necks, you can manifest injustice in 8 minutes, 46 seconds or less. We can bank on hatred of Black lives in this country like taxes and death. We are America. And in this land of the free and the home of the brave, forever choked by the asterisk around the neck of the enslaved, we never lose sight of the mountaintop and its fame. We never forget the manners in which we have a right to behave, whether constitutional or biblical, literal or spiritual. The right of every human being to carve out a dignified existence is irrefutable. Screw your storefronts and your corrupt economy. The two-faced lies we're told about social viability built of pure autonomy. The fear-mongering designed to keep us downtrodden in an arduous dichotomy. I do solemnly swear to get into good trouble constantly, to piss on the pulpits of liars, deconstruct false idols, strip corrupt politicians of their titles, and keep the fight for justice worthwhile. I pray to spread righteous anger amongst every man, woman, and child, hurl rocks and stones until foundational values come back in style. I pray to conveniently forget the risk to my own life and liberty amidst all this. They can't kill us until they kill us. We are America.
I think that was the end. What a powerful way to end that. We wanted it to keep going. Thank you so much, as always, Hakeem Komet, for bringing us so much to our stage during our performance. So just thank you so much for that. And, you're always, you can bring humor one day, you can bring humanity another day, self-consciousness, upliftment. And that was a stern message that we needed to hear about, the anger that's really happening around the world. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And we're going to keep it going. Right now, I love the ebb and flow of the event. Right now, we have this young lady. We, on our Instagram page, Rooftop_rhythms, we recently started trying to just highlight people from beginning level to established. If you send us a picture and a poem, and my friend Stormy has kept hitting me up saying, when are you going to put me up? When are you going to put me up? And the moment I did, she had like 170 likes. So she's very popular now, everybody. Okay, so if you want an autograph, you have to message her, give her like 5 minutes. Staggered time. No, she's very down to earth, a talented young poet who performs often with Blank Space in Dubai. And right now we're excited to have a newbie on our stage for the first time. Everybody snap it up wherever you are all over the world, representing Sudan by way of Dubai. Show some love to Miss Stormius.
Thank you so much, Dorian. Okay, so this piece is kind of a transparent piece. I don't usually do that. So I thought I'd try something new to share with you guys, and it's called Epiphanies. I've learned a lot about myself, how beautiful I am, even when I am not faced with my own reflection. When I'm staring into someone's soul, I see how intently I observe their facial grimaces and how I recognize the excitement in their tone, how I see their soul in everything they do, and I give them my unwavering attention. Feeling seen is an underappreciated emotion. I see it now. I've learned that I love the boys who are awkward and shy because I so easily accept honesty and authenticity. I love people that wear their heart on their sleeve. They stand in the face of weakness and they endeavor a paradoxical state. As with every face-off, they become stronger. And while a sleeve will latch on longer, it is better than no sleeves, only extending so far without gain, only yonder. Sometimes being brave is a form of a genuine smile and open heart. Many are at war with their shields, yet many at battle will die inevitably. I've learned that I can be kind and not let myself be trotted all over. Only dead men at war get stomped on, and I swear by my rich pumping blood, only God can ever look down on me again. I've learned to raise my concerns. I was not born to be an anchor heaving to the ground. You cannot mute my demands. I will supply myself with what you cannot afford and kick you out. But respect and honor were never worth a penny. Never let a person dismiss you, even when they claim a bottle of Henny. I will not allow you to hop over the fence I made for my territory, nor will I tame the rage inside of me every time I get told I'm laid back in the name of being censored and overcompensating. A toast to the ones that I let pass, but I now sleep with one eye open, so I dare you to try and intrude upon the shop I made that will always read a sign, closed. It does not flow my revenue, but inside I learned to make bigger things grow. I learned a lot about myself, how insecurity will tangle my throat. And I'm not talking about my own, for it sometimes comes in the shape of a beautiful man with no broken records or goals that will make it his mission to try and tear you down, while simultaneously cheering you on at the event he won last year around. The biggest house in town will help you build your own, but not so big their title no longer exists. Insecurity should be diagnosed as an airborne disease. Someone may hate you for the love that you have for yourself. And I think it the most ridiculous thing to kill yourself in order to keep their insecurities alive. I've learned a lot about myself, that my rearview mirror isn't the only reflection of me. I can see myself in this poem. I see myself when I talk and when I yell. I see myself when I set my brother to sleep with a story to tell. I see myself when I become aggravated at my friend's bad experience. I was not there to help. And I see that I am a combination of my past lives. What if reincarnation is just a spiritual term for ancestral tragedies that have followed you before you were due? Mirror, mirror on the wall, terminate this chain of curse galore. Do not live a lifetime of repeated karmic experience. Claim ownership of your own reflection. Be greedy about your own space. You only live once, unless you decide to live someone else's life. I've learned a lot about myself, how I am a spinning ball that collects growth and intellect with every rotation. A ball stuck will never serve its purpose. After all, life is but a picture you paint. I've learned a lot about myself when we don't always agree, but more importantly, I see her now. Thank you so much. That was Epiphanies by Ella Stormius Rights.
Stormius, everybody, that was her first time on our stage. Show her some love. She needs a new phone back cover. Okay, so she has a Cash App for, no, I'm joking. That's probably like some type of effect that you have on your phone, but beautiful poem. And I love how you said, you only live once unless you choose to live a life of another. I think I misquoted that, but that was very powerful. We also have the Stormius fan club on Facebook chat shouting her out. And we have Idris Garcia from Canada shouting us out. What's up? We have Eve Johnson saying such powerful words a few poems back. Amal Yasser representing for Stormius. Okay, and Amal Yasser again. Wow, so beautifully written and said. Shouts out to Ahmed, Monteser Ishmael, and so many others that are joining us. Keep sharing the link, everybody, as we continue to grow the show until we finish at about 9:30. And let's keep it going, everybody. We have another first timer on our stage, and they go by the name of Ashu Gwar. Show them some love. Ashu.
Hi, hello everyone, and I might not feel out of place because my performance will be in Hindi. So just connect with me because I think so. The feelings, the emotions, and the soul doesn't need any language. So my first poetry is the incident which took place when I was doing my engineering in New Delhi, a place in India. And it was in November, it was cold, it was winters. And I was catching a bus from a bus depot and she was sitting there, a beauty. She was like a Taj Mahal. And she was sitting on a bench, on the side of a bench, and I walked. Whoever has been in that love at first sight zone, this poetry will relate to them. This is for the Hindi audience more. Okay, so my poetry is love at first sight. Let's start how it goes in that way. In this bus depot and all, we have vendors, we have chai walas, and everyone is there. So how it goes. उसने नजरें मिलाई और तमाम कर दिया. उसने नजरें मिलाई और तमाम कर दिया. हमने नजरें झुकाकर सलाम कर दिया. कुछ वो बोली, कुछ हम बोले. कुछ वो बोली, कुछ हम बोले. सिलसिले बस शुरू ही हुए थे कि चाय वाले ने आकर अल्प विराम कर दिया. चाय की प्याली को होठों से लगाया. चाय की प्याली को होठों से लगाया, गिरती लटों को कान के पीछे सजाया, और सुर की आवाज जो चुस्की में आई, अदाओं ने उनकी कत्लेआम कर दिया। उसने नजरें उठाई और तमाम कर दिया, हमने नजरें झुकाकर सलाम कर दिया। कंगन को कलाई पर थोड़ा ऊपर चढ़ाया, कंगन को कलाई पर थोड़ा ऊपर चढ़ाया, भीगे रुमाल से माथे की बूंदों को हटाया, और दांतों में दबाकर नाखूनों का दम, और दांतों में दबाकर नाखूनों का दम, ऐसा सूर्योदय सरेआम कर दिया। उसने नजरें उठाई और तमाम कर दिया। मूंगफली वाले ने जब आवाज लगाई, मूंगफली वाले ने जब आवाज लगाई, मोहतरमा ने अधरों पे जीवा फिराई, बटुए से जो निकला 2000 का नोट, जय मोदी जी, बटुए से जो निकला 2000 का नोट, मेरे फुटकर चिल्लरों ने दिल का काम कर दिया। उसने नजरें उठाई और तमाम कर दिया, हमने नजरें झुकाकर सलाम कर दिया। किस्से शुरू हो चुके थे, किस्से शुरू हो चुके थे, हवाएं भी दिखाई दे रही थी, उसके लबों की अनकही बातें मेरे दिल को सुनाई दे रही थी। फिर बारिश ने आकर ऐसा भिगोया, फिर बारिश ने आकर ऐसा भिगोया, रात में मेरे जुकाम कर दिया। उसने नजरें उठाई और तमाम कर दिया, हमने नजरें झुकाकर सलाम कर दिया। So this was my first piece, and my second piece is dedicated to all the mothers out there. When a child is born, it's not only a child, it's the mother is also born with the child. Mother is not a word, she is a dictionary. माँ अपने आप में सिर्फ एक शब्द नहीं है, पूरा पूरा ग्रंथ है। लोग हमसे पूछते हैं कि तुम्हारी माँ तुमसे कैसा प्यार करती है। This poetry is dedicated to every mother. I want to tell everyone that मेरी माँ से मिलता है मुझे वो प्यार, क्या कहूँ तुझे। मेरी माँ से मिलता है मुझे वो प्यार, क्या कहूँ तुझे। उसकी आंखों में है समंदर सा वो दुलार, क्या कहूँ तुझे। वो घर से जाते वक्त उसकी आंखों से बारिशें। 16 years आई एम आउट, 16 साल हो गए हमें इंजीनियरिंग, उसके बाद जॉब। जब भी हम घर से बाहर जाते हैं ऐसा लगता है जैसे हम सरहद पे लड़ाई करने जा रहे हैं। वो तिलक लगाती है, दही खिलाती है और रोने लग जाती है। वो घर से जाते वक्त उसकी आंखों से बारिशें, वो खुशबू ममता के आंचल की, पर मुझे नौकरी की बंदिशें। वो अपने हाथों से मुझे मीठा दही खिलाना, विजय रज अनामिका में भर माथे पर तिलक लगाना। उसकी नजरें हर पल मेरी नजर है उतारती, उसका मेरे सिर पे हाथ रखना जैसे मंदिरों की आरती। उसी के नूर से रोशन हूं मैं, बाकी सब दिए बुझे बुझे। मेरी माँ से मिलता है मुझे वो प्यार, क्या कहूं तुझे। वो उसकी गोद में सर रखना, वो उसकी गोद में सर रखना एक अलग ही एहसास है। वो उसके हाथों के कढ़ी चावल, बेसन के लड्डू की मिठास है। वो घी का बड़ा डिब्बा और आम की अचारी, बिन कहे ही जान जाती है सारी मुश्किलें हमारी। वो डांटती है, मारती है, फिर खुद ही रो देती है। वो डांटती है, मारती है, फिर खुद ही रो देती है। वो चूम चूम कर गालों को मेरे आंसू पोंछ देती है। वो हंसी है, खुशी है, दुआ है, दवा है। वो हंसी है, खुशी है, दुआ है, दवा है। मेरे गमों का रुख मोड़ दे ऐसी कोई हवा है। वो इबादत है, इश्क है, मेरे यार क्या कहूं तुझे। मेरी माँ से मिलता है मुझे वो प्यार, क्या कहूं तुझे। मेरी माँ से मिलता है मुझे वो प्यार, क्या कहूं तुझे। Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Signing off now, Ashu Gaurav from Dubai. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ashu. Thank you so much. Where are you from?
I am from Kanpur. It's a place in Uttar Pradesh, a place where Taj Mahal is there, almost nearby. It's like somewhere there.
Well, we thank you so much for taking the time to share with us, and we hope you will join us again in the future. Everybody, just for the record, I think a lot of multilingual people choose to perform in English at our show. But for those of you who've been coming since 2012, we're always open, and actually we welcome all languages because, as Ashu so beautifully said, that there's something universal in language. So even though I may not understand Hindi, there's beauty in his articulation and his recital and in his rhythm of what he does. So I really enjoyed those poems, Ashu. And thank you so much for showing us that all languages are appreciated. And we hope more Hindi and Arabic will be done in the future. We also have an all Arabic event so that we can promote the Arabic language. And you can always go to any of our pages on social media, Rooftop Rhythms group page, Rooftop Rhythms community page on Facebook, as well as Rooftop_Rhythms on Instagram. And very shortly, I'll be giving you all of the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi social media links, as they have an amazing lineup for you this season. And it's an all virtual season. So they've become very creative with how to bring you beautiful concepts. All right, we're going to keep it going, everybody. We will try our best to have you out of here by 9:30, but right now, don't worry about time. Don't worry about Justin Bieber's new single. I don't think he really has a new single. Don't worry about anything else except for Mr. Rami, who's now coming up to our virtual stage. Rami!
Oh my God, I'm so humbled to be amongst these amazing creatives and poets and musicians. Thank you so much. And just following up to what you said about, speaking other languages, my initial plan was to perform last month in the Arabic sessions, and that's my core talent. I love Arabic. أنا أعشق اللغة العربية حتى الثمالة. I was just saying in Arabic that I love Arabic so much, and but then I didn't get the chance. So here I am today performing something in English, and it's called "What Is Real," and it goes like this. I don't know what's real anymore. I love, I hate, I connect and I distance myself. I work and I rest, I observe, elevate and meditate, trying to escape these thoughts, clearing my mind, calming my mind. I wander through the lands. I live in the past. I'm overwhelmed with emotions, overstressed with fear of what was, fear of what is, and what is going to be. The unknown, my friend, is terrifying. A dark tunnel with no glimpse of hope, fear of missing, fear of being missed, fear of lacking. A ruthless war, and the battles continue. I struggle to achieve, and I fear miserably to meet my soulmate, my friends. Who are they, and who am I? Words fail to describe. A Palestinian man born in the 90s, a middle-class family, a brother, a sister, tens of aunts and uncles, and hundreds of cousins, and yet I'm still suffering from identity crisis. Where am I really from? The choice was never mine. I'm a victim of passion, the end game to a cultural pyramid, and the beginning to another. This cycle cannot be broken. Can I escape? I'm a prisoner walking amongst free men with chains around my neck. A prisoner at my own home, a prisoner at my own planet, a prisoner to these flawless vessels, imperfect bodies. I go to sleep and my soul wander in my dreams. I don't know what's real anymore. I ask myself every night, do I go to sleep, to dream, or to wake up from my dreams? That was it. Thank you, everyone, so much for giving me the time. And this was Rami Abu Amuna signing off, and my piece was called What Is Real. Thank you. Peace out.
Thank you, Rami. What is real? And where are you checking in with us?
I am based in here in the UAE, so I live in Sharjah. Yeah.
Okay, Representative Sharjah. I don't think that's how they say Sharjah, but okay. Thank you so much, Rami. And you have a really cool spirit and energy, so we hope that you choose to join us for either our English show and our Arabic show when it comes back around, okay? We love to hear you more.
Thanks.
All right, we're gonna keep it going, everybody. I'm excited to have my friend Adam Hens, AKA Hensbo. He recently received his doctoral degree. And he's just a talented person. We met maybe 15 to 20 years ago on what we call the Southern Fried Poetry Scene, which is a regional competition and festival that happens in the Southern United States. I've been going since 2003 and sadly don't attend anymore since I live in the UAE, but it's just like Rooftop Rhythms times 20. It's a festival of like 40 teams. And we do competitions, but also workshops. And it's like a big family reunion if you're ever able to make it. He is the host of a cool event that Bill Bregen got to see by the name of Head to Head Haiku Death Match, which is when you have a poetry slam, but with haiku. And so he is one of the few people around the world that does this event. He's a talented poet and scholar. And we asked him to come on to share a poem with you, because hopefully in the next few months, he'll come on to our show and host a haiku battle. I challenge all of you to write some haiku. But for right now, let's bring Hensbo to the stage. First time in Abu Dhabi.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much. Paul, it hurt when you said 15, 20 years ago is when we first met. That's a little painful.
Yeah,
it's kind of, I'm coming from Indiana in the United States. It's kind of hard to describe what living in the United States is like this week. For those of you who are not from the United States, I live about 2 hours away from Louisville, which is where Breonna Taylor was killed. And in fact, after this, I'm meeting up with some local activists and we're going shopping for some gear and they're going down there. So I want to say thanks to Paul for asking me to come and get me to take a break and focus on some poetry. I really needed that. And because of that, I'm going to read a poem dedicated to you, Paul. This is a piece from my dissertation. I've been thinking, because there's a lot of loss right now in the United States, I've been thinking about some of our friends who we've lost in the Southern Fried community. So there might be some references that people don't understand if you're not from there, but just know this is about when you are around a creative space for decades, you carry the people with you who are no longer there. This poem's called On Daemons. It's a 5-part poem. 1. I'm in the passenger seat of Asia Sampson's car in South Florida. He has pulled into an unfamiliar strip mall. There is a trophy store and a law firm. Asia has mounted a video camera on his dashboard facing us. I assume he is setting up a candid shot for his documentary. He says his film is about the journey to find the poem. He points to the storefront and says, "This was the literary cafe." "Oh, shit," I yell, pointing to the concrete. He says, "Right over there is where Will passed away." We step out to show our respects, and Asia points to where friends found him, slumped against his car and shot in the head. Standing in the same parking lot of Will's old poetry spot, on the same ground once soaked in his blood, I say, with hands on my hips, I worry when I am old, the things that I sustained won't be passed on. 2. At the Poetry Slam, we wear bunny ears and Batman socks, the favorite things of beloved ones who've left their bodies and books of poems behind. When Test placed black nail polish on top of Tavis's grave, it withstood hurricanes. When Wendy paid a visit, the dedication was still standing on top of the stone a whole year after Tess had passed too. 3. I had just returned from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway when Cuban called me to let me know someone killed Will while he was locking up his poetry spot. My dog had diarrhea and the walls were splashed with literal shit. I skipped the big race to sit on the floor and stare and call my friends to say sorry. We don't talk enough. 4. The same sages you've seen soaked in bright stage lights, I met in a parking lot over a past glass of poetry punch. There are more poets who have passed on that I could dedicate a dissertation to. Shauna and Shannon and Maggie and Jack and Pat. The last time I saw Blair alive, he slayed the crowd with spit like Little Richard reincarnated. I still can't believe that man could ever stop breathing. 5. When Will died, I called Tavis. When Tavis died, I didn't know who to speak to. His last social media status said the voice of criticism in his head was my own. Then an aneurysm ruptured his brain. I was too broke to buy a bus ticket, so instead, I lost myself in academic work. The voice of criticism bleeding within my skull. One night, while walking to the store, I thought of him, wishing I could be the glue he always was. How can we carry on without feeling his spirit? When I crossed the road from my apartment complex, I stopped to see a deer standing in front of me. It looked me dead in my eyes, which struck me like a poem. It crossed the road, weaving between cars speeding by. It turned and looked back at me for just a moment. Then it bolted, its tail waving like a white flag, and then it was gone. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Black Lives Matter.
Thank you, Dr. Adam Hens, aka Hensbo. Thank you for that poem. And a big part of the work we do out here, Hensbo, is kind of carrying on the same spirit of Southern Fried. And we would love to tell anyone who's interested more of our stories. But basically, a lot of the energy, a lot of you say you get as far as positivity and welcoming atmosphere, it comes from kind of some of the cultures and atmospheres I grew up in. And Hensbo is a big part of that. So thank you for helping me to connect it all, Hensbo, and taking my invitation to perform one of your beautiful poems. And thank you for sharing the story. Also, rest in peace to Will the Real One. If you Google him, he was on Def Poetry Jam a few times and was a very humble, talented person who helped us out as we were coming up and was unfortunately killed to senseless violence in Miami, Florida. So this is a heavy night. It is a heavy night. I feel it, but a lot of us need poetry for self-expression, catharsis, healing. So thank you all for just sharing your hearts with us on this platform. And we're going to keep it going. I'm going to share a haiku with you before we finish because he is the haiku host and I didn't make it past the first round in the competition. All right, we're going to keep it going. We have Miss Lulu Konyita. She is a student at NYU Abu Dhabi, and we're always going to give students the extra love. So wherever you are, whether that's Mozambique or Montana, please snap it up right now for her first time, Miss Lulu Konyita.
Hi, good night, everyone. My name is Lulu. I am a senior at NYU 80, and I'm here tonight because I suddenly decided I'd like to stretch out of my comfort zone. And this is the first time in 10 years that I wrote a poem, so here goes. Lila. I'll tell you stories about my mama. Her name is Lila. Lila, at some point, grew up in Mecca, then moved back to Jakarta. Lila grew up in a family that was rich, according to standards of Indonesia. So rich that made her act so proper as if she was the president's daughter. Laughing till her belly hurts, crying even because she was a teenager, she was taught that she could not act like whoever. And then Lila met my dad, who is lively and carefree. And then Lila was blessed by me, a bit explosive, slightly crazy. 20 years later, expressing emotions is still not Lila's forte. Lila and I were like the West and the East. Not fighting for a day would probably require a priest. Meeting in the middle should be celebrated by a feast. When my father pushed her to hug me when I was crying, she did it super fast. The 15-year-old me was left aghast. However, even without her body's warmth, I know she's the person who loves me the most. She used to fall asleep in the dining room waiting for me, then wake up and watch me eat dinner because she knew I could only eat with a company. Asking how my day went for me. One day, I found Lila crying, her stoic facade crumbling. I asked her again and again as I saw her tumbling. Lila told me that one of my aunts had been calling her many times. Every single time without even a hello, just launches, asking Lila why she decided to let me, her daughter, go abroad just for studies. She kept telling Lila that she wasn't a good mom because good moms tell their daughters to stay home and learn how to make tea with cardamom. And Lila said, I am her mom. She's my daughter and I want her to fly, to pursue her dreams, expand her wings because her daughter needs to have more rights than a firefly. That's it.
Everybody, don't let her be nervous. Everybody show some love to Lulu. Lulu, you have a whole shopping center named after you. You're the biggest grocery store. Okay, you're so great. Thank you so much, Lulu. Hey, I'm all for it. I know you just wanted to do that to get over some fear, Lulu, but I think you have talent in writing. While you were reading, Tiffany Chablis on Facebook said she loves the way you're reading. The smiling and laughing feels authentic and not performative. So very good. I also want to shout out my aunt checking in all the way from the Bay Area, Miss Sandina Robbins, a beautiful journalist and artist in her own right, and she exposed me to the Bay Area poetry scene. So thanks for checking in, Aunt. And Lulu, we want to keep you encouraged. Keep doing your thing. When I was 18, I was doing poetry like, and when I saw the dirt, it really made me hurt, you know, and it wasn't good at all. And now I think I'm pretty good. So if you keep to it, I know that you're going to continue developing as a writer, as you're already talented right now. Everybody snap up for Lulu one more time. And we're going to keep it going for the students. I told you, we have a talented student base at NYU Abu Dhabi. They are a big part of what we do. So let's show some love. I believe this is gentleman's first time as well. Please show some love to Alpha. He has a stage name, Alpha. I like that.
It's actually my actual name, but thank you. Yeah, my name is Alpha. I'm a sophomore, and my poem is called Saturdays. It's about masculinity and love and other things. And yes, it'll be quick and painless. Okay. Saturdays are for my hair. Wash day. I get lost in Daniel Caesar's sweet nothings as I banter not my 2-inch coils. I close my eyes and savor the strain in my arm as I fumble with what I'll swear to use a cornrow. After a 2-hour trance, I emerge from a steamy bathroom, feeling more accomplished than time after a long day. I sit, ankles crossed in front of the mirror, my affirmations ritual, and I talk to myself about how I feel. In a manner I can only imagine to be what women's salons try to replicate as they tie and dry. I say I'm happy today, like the Sarah Kay poem, you know the one, with the sunflowers touching the ceiling, Beyonce and sugar water, or the happy childhood. No, I think I'm happy like a book. Pried open for the first time, picked and perfect, and I think, isn't it funny how we trust we feel in the same way? That what I say is happy is same as you. Objective, like how I call a shirt and a shoe. When in reality, it's almost impossible that we're talking about the same thing, or rather in the same way. I like it. We haven't created labels for these labels, aren't concerned with whose sad is the real sad. Yet we aren't in denial nor insecure. Instead, we're pretty sure, trusting that we're feeling what we're supposed to and knowing that we're meant to, and that we know what we're meant to. And isn't that just so pure? I could guess 1,000,000 times how you feel when you feel and not be even close. And it's the only time that it doesn't matter if I'm right. The steam from the bathroom is dry. I untie my knots. My scalp breathes. I turn off Javon because he's getting too specific about how he feels lost. Meanwhile, I just want to wander. I uncross my legs to affirm there is no treasure there. I turn from the mirror and its reflective moods. I turn on my screen where you love me. I guess. It must be like how a shoe embraces lace. You ask me what I did today. I tell you it's Saturday. Today is for my hair, wash day. You say you love me. I guess again. I have 999,998 guesses left before I am tired and still wrong, and it's still Saturday, and it's all still enough. My name is Alpha, and this was Saturdays. Thank you.
Saturdays. I love it, Alpha. Very talented, very natural, raw talent. Have you been writing for a long time or rather new? I think you're muted, but I know say it again.
Pretty recent. There's a couple, like this summer, more or less, yeah.
And you've been coming to the show for a while, right?
Yeah, I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah. So you've been soaking it up. You've been soaking.
Yes, I have. Yeah, learning from the best.
Bill Bregen did a poem before. I think you've been copying some of his style. Okay. All right. Thank you, Alpha. Everybody, he's been a long time dedicated attendee, and it's beautiful to see him cross over like some do to the performance side. If you choose not to, no problem. We love the audience just the same. But I think we found a bright young star with Alpha, and Alpha is the beginning. All right, the start of it all. So hopefully this was a good start for you. And as we get ready to bring up our next performer, Ali, who performed, not Ali, A-L-I, but Ali. He performed last season, was very talented. He's a songwriter. Before we do that, I want to share a couple of haiku with you to get you ready for that event, which is coming soon, a haiku competition. Our next event is October 23rd. So please mark your calendars for that. A haiku is 17 syllables. So here we go. Let me know what you think about these in the chat box. Name the next comet Breonna Taylor so that she will never die. Glacier shrinks from size of house to size of couch. Bear starves on ice love seat. All right, and that's it for now, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Here we go. Let's get ready. Ali Chapman, how are you?
Hello, mate. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Good to have you back. I look forward to hearing you.
Cheers, man. So I'm Ollie Chapman. I'm 17. I'm from the UK, but I live over in Allain. I hope you enjoy this. It's an original song that I'm going to be doing today called Hallelujah, and it's been released as well. So if you like to listen to it, you can go and check it out on like platforms. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope you like this. Rest your head in like the pillows, so much shakes have let you down. Don't you fret, darling, don't you even dare fret. You and I, you get through this battle. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Mama's been preaching lullaby. It's not too low, it's nice and sweet. Be strong last night and find your feet. Go to the rain, check on me to stay. Mama tried to call her, but Mama made a bad way. Sorry, I've been off tracks. See, I've been off tracks. I'm no fun 'cause I keep trying to explain. Lord, it's hard to be right and know that you're wrong. I don't want to let out a precious little song. If I should get pride to head, I realize it'll be so distant when I collapse. Oh, it's so distant when I collapse, when I collapse, when I collapse. Oh Lord, hey. Oh Lord, it's about to lose some time and shy away from it, 'cause we find cannot finally find ourselves in to go all up some time and shy away from it, we find the cannot. But it ain't fitting, oh Lord, oh Lord. Hallelujah. 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 Don't understand. No. That's Hallelujah, and an original song. So cheers, thank you. If you'd like to listen to it again, I've got some videos on my Instagram or Spotify, things like that as well. It's just Ollie Chapman, and it should come up. Thank you very much.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Ali. Hallelujah. We really enjoyed that. Ali, what is your Instagram?
It's _ Ollie Chapman _. So if you type in Ollie Chapman, it should come up.
All right, everybody, type in Ali, not Ali, A-L-I, but O-L-L-I-E. 17 years old. Wow, you're getting a lot of praise in our back end chat group. Ray Mello, who does a lot of great live events around the country, is really singing your praise, said you killed it at F1 a year ago. And we have Nabiha, who rarely yells. I've never seen her yell. She says she's literally yelling. This was amazing. Ali, you are the future. Salam Atasi's a lot of talent. He's saying the same thing. And Rami said watching you reminded him of the tweet Ed Shireen wrote before he became famous, big things are happening. So thank you so much, Ali, for sharing your talent at 17. I think I was just finishing learning how to tie my shoes. So you're way ahead of the game right now. Thank you so much. And it's just so beautiful to see so much original talent grace our virtual stage. We only have a few more performers, so let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going. If you're feeling good at home, scream out loud, make somebody think you're crazy. Say, heck yeah. Okay, here we go. Next performer is Miss Lina Fenso, performing for the first time on our stage. Show some love to Lina.
Hi, yes, it is the first time, and I thank the performers who taught me so much in this session. I realized there's a difference between writing poetry and performing poetry. Well, here goes my first poem. It's targeted towards a famous Lebanese musician who plays the trumpet in an excellent way. And I'm not hating on him. I'm hating on the person that reminds me of him every time I listen to his music. And it's called F-U-C-K, Ibrahim Malouf. I can't listen to Ibrahim Malouf. I can't listen to a sad tune about Beirut or his trumpet that he somehow makes sound like a flute. The echoey dramatism of bull something makes me angry and nostalgic. I effing hate it. The pickup in the middle of the song to make your audience excited makes you sound like a prick, and I told you so way. You make Lebanon sound deep when really it's a dump full of useless toys and horny boys. The oud at the end, what are you doing? Adding layers to your shadowy escapades? You're just a poser with no game and a thick Israeli gait. I can't hear Oriental tones anymore. That patriotic mystique to make others feel weak is overused like crocodile tears of war. However, I thank you for being a gift to my sour words and angry wit, because without you, where would they be in this world? And I have one more poem to end it on a lighter note. It's called To Love, Love. To love, love is to love the act of loving, not the person. The tool to my love, not love itself. I now suffer the loss of love, not him. I have not lost a person. I lose the uniqueness of how our relationship could have been. I mourn in my attitude of being able to abandon this love, force myself to feel guilty. My life turns upside down and my daily tasks feel like they don't belong. I check Instagram to remind myself why I should suffer in agony. I self-punish, I self-indulge, like a dog deserving of a treat, for the simple reason of my feminine weeps and faithful leaps of love, simply because I love love. Thank you, guys. I'm Lina. Nice to meet you.
And we love you, Lina. Thank you so much. Very creative twists on your poetry. So thank you for the love you gave to the other performers. You're right, there is a difference between just reading poetry, which is more a recital, and the performance of it. It's a little harder in the virtual world, but I'm glad that you saw some of those different techniques. And you have a very creative way of looking at poetry and some nice humor as well. So thank you, and we hope you join us as well again. All right, only 2 more performers, can you believe it, for our season 9 debut. Thank you so much. This was a needed event. I've missed you since May. But the great thing is now you're about to have a whole full season from Rooftop Rhythms as well as the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi. And we're asking all performers to go to the Facebook chat. Please leave your social media handles so that people who are asking about you can learn more about your beautiful work. And only 2 more performers left, so let's go ahead and get into it. We have a very powerful supporter of the scene. He is a videographer, he's an editor, a director. He just directed my hip hop video called Pulpit that I'll be posting a link on Facebook Live for you all to check out if you're interested. And he is a dynamic poet and organizer in his own right. Please show some love right now to Muhammad Anis.
So when the show began, there were 2 very beautiful odes that were recited. One that was for a yard sale, and the other one was for artists, which I'm still reeling from the Biha. Thank you very much. So I thought it would be appropriate to, now that we're coming towards the end of the show, to recite a different ode to a rather unusual subject. Plastic, crude oils, and Earth's unwanted middle child. I see you carrying mom's necessities back home. I see you bearing the brunt of the trash, the little nephew's teeth molding the nape of your neck into a chew toy, how you put up with rolling his walker through every accident his imagination pushed you into. I see you wandering the air, a humble imitation of the clouds. I see you caressing the ink of this poem, grandmother's picture on my 11th birthday. I see an amputee wearing you, a synthetic but honest attempt to dispel the phantoms that dwell where his legs should have been. I see you cast away, carried along water, even though it had once taken the shape of you. They abandon you in space after you safeguard them past the stratosphere, but you can take consolation knowing that the stars won't be as inconvenienced as us. Maybe you can hear them over radio chatter, wailing about population control, their eulogies making you out to be a manifestation of their negligence, not manifestation that was neglected. Maybe they wail because you are the object of envy. Perhaps they see in you the qualities they've always wanted, longevity, or the ability to shape oneself around the satisfaction of the ego. Perhaps they seethe as they watch you being carried across the ocean, paraded across the waters like the effigies they wish they were shaped after them, passportless in a world that celebrates the borders it has built. They'll pretend to mourn the dead. They'll pretend to mourn the dead you send them, their sentiments as synthetic as the accusations they pin against you. So float, fly, let the waters take the shape of you. Plastic, crude oil, and Mother Nature's unwanted middle child.
Wow. Always beautiful writing from Anis. We want him to put out a poetry album very soon as well. Everybody keep him encouraged as he has grown by leaps and bounds as a writer and performer. And another well-written poem and right on time with the haps of today. So thank you so much as we begin to close the show out. Remember, October 23rd, get a permanent marker. It will wear away in about 7 days, but just write it on your arm. Save the day, October 23rd, our first slam of the season. We're excited about it. If you want to slam, you can message us on any of our social media channels, or if you want to learn more about what slam is, We encourage you to perform on the open mic stage first so that you can get into just the spirit of what we're doing right now, kind of the cipher element of sharing our work. And slam is when you actually have judges, so that can be a little harsher on your ego. It's all for fun, but we'll choose 5 judges to score the artist. We will not be doing a Halloween themed show, unfortunately, this season, because the date is October 23rd, and I will feel goofy in a Halloween outfit on October 23rd. Unless anybody else crazy wants to do a costume contest, let me know, but I think it's too far away from the 31st. So no problem, we'll still have a spookily good time with the dope vibes, but we're gonna go ahead and close the show out today. Before we hand it over back over to Bill Bregen, let's get one more performer, and he goes by the name of Bashir. Everybody show some love to Bashir Wagi.
Thank you, everyone. So this is my first time actually speaking in public with one of my pieces. A big part of my job is writing what a lot of people want to say. So this is just a piece of what I wanted to say for a while. The scorn-born forms on an old tombstone. A stolen horde molds her golden throne. Her screams haunt dreams with a taunt and a moan, with more in store for your insatiable soul. It begins in things, passing flings and bling, statuses, accounts, chandeliers and rings, distractionary teachings, warring faction preachings. These are but a few of my favorite things. Feel free to flee or agree to my heresy, but a part in your tale will be played by me. A broken token from an intact heart, a moment stolen from a timeless start. I blind your eyes, I hypnotize, and apply my disguise for a worthless part. I build in this wilderness a sunless bliss, senseless, expressionless, emotionless art. My ties lie nowhere. Time flies when you try to prepare. Don't know for what, but my prose flow uncut. Be it scene, a state of being, floors with holes or doors boarded up. It only takes one to come undone. In the blight of night, bright lights fight to shut me up. I abide by it, the stride I've hit, with my pride intact, or what's left of it. Flee to my dreams. Be free, sweet screams. Feel the ease with which we can be. But never forget to suspect, respect. Only you can protect from new contact. Never showing, cleverly slowing, owning the only thing you know to be fact. Thank you all for listening. That was chapter 1 of The Asenescence of Being. I'm Bashir Wagi, and I hope you've enjoyed your evening so far. Stay safe and stay well.
Thank you, Bashir. I just feel like I just burned some incense listening to you. Your voice is so calming, and your flow is very meditative, and I think that's a great way to end the evening. So thank you for joining us, Bashir, and thank you for closing out our event. Everybody, that was Rooftop Rhythms number 75. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! All right, it's been a blessing. We're going to call out everybody in order of how you saw them when we started the show. So please, we just want you to get a round of applause at your house. Snap your fingers. All right, here we go. Salam Atas was first, followed by Suzanne Sadiq performing a poem inspired by our friend Raz. Shouts out to Razio. Followed by Nabiha, then Naima, then Not So Human, then Smriti Nair, then Hakeem Kamet, followed by Stormius, Ashu Gar, Rami, Hensbo, Lulu, Conita, Alpha, Ali, Chapman, Lina, Anise, and Bashir. Everybody, it's been an honor to bring this event to you. We'll see you on October 23rd, but don't go anywhere just yet as we have some closing announcements by Bill Bregen. And if you're lucky, I think in the back room, you'll see DJ Alad. Everybody also mark your calendars for November 25th, which is Hakaya. And that's an event that features a lot of poets and performers. And it's a beautiful National Day celebration and just a celebration of home and belonging. I believe going on its 6th year. So Bill may give you more information, but that's November 25th. Right now, thank you to all of the producers at the Arts Center, Lana, Chris Pye, Clive, everyone else. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bill?
All right, and a big thank you to Dorian Paul Rogers for starting this incredible community. Thank you to all of the artists, all the poets, all the musicians. This is the first time we've had everybody watching and Zoom as well, and it's amazing to get the energy of everybody kind of watching one another. The chat here is great. We're going to do this more, so if you want to watch from on stage, let us know next month. Thank you to everyone who works at the Arts Center. Thank you to the entire NYUAD community, and we will see you soon. We are an entirely online season, and what's amazing is that we can feel it. We feel the impact of the art even as we're still physically distanced, and it's so important that you're here. We thank you. Check us out at nyuad-artcenter.org to find out everything we're doing, and we'll see you real soon. Now let's turn it over to DJ Alad.